evening all, welcome to Kick and Dust. As we run over dudes in our bomb truck, let me tell you about this. I'm doing a preemptive bomb truck. Look at that, 3 dudes in a row. That's pretty funny, isn't it? I generally find that when I start a match now, just because people seem to want to bring in tanks from the get-go, is I'm also bringing bomb trucks in. Look at this, look at that. See, the tactic works. Look at that. Well, somebody already brought in a tank. Boom, dead. Piss off. It's Fanfest, dudes. If you're watching this from Iceland, please post in the comments, hey, I'm watching this from Reykjavik, and try and spell it without making it wrong. It's a bloody hard word, isn't it? Reykjavik. Icelandic to me sounds like somebody's just gone and got a Scrabble set and just shooken up all of the vowels and the consonants in that little bag and then just sprayed them over the table. And they're like, right, let's call our city that. Let's call hello that. Right, let's say that's our new language right there. I am, of course, joking. Please don't kill me and burn me as a heretic to the Icelandic state. I love Iceland, everything about it. It's a very beautiful country. I hear they're having trees soon. I can't help it, I promise. I can't help it, I'm sorry. And yes, I know I'm laughing at my own jokes. It's because I'm drunk. What can I do? But yeah, Fanfest is on. And right now, there are people in Reykjavik, literally leaning against the bar, saying to the barman, how much, when they order a pint of lager. And I think that's a really awesome feeling that right now is happening right now. If you're there, then what you're doing watching the video, seriously, go get drunk. Seriously, go meet the Icelandic women, right? And I say this for the women, okay? So sorry, if you're a female watcher, I do apologize. But Icelandic women are incredibly good looking, okay? I think they come from I can only imagine that some mighty Viking decided one day that he was going to take all the beautiful women from Sweden, put them on a boat and sail them to Reykjavik. It does feel like that happened. Anyway, just saying, hopefully you're having fun, and hopefully you're seeing this as an obvious troll. I am not a male chauvinist. I promise. Yeah, so EFest is on. I have no idea what the schedule is. I'm lying, actually, because this is still a week to go, and I recorded this a while ago. So for all I know, EFest has been cancelled because of some comedic reason. I don't know, Gale hits Iceland or something. I'm hoping it doesn't, and if so, then this fantastic illusion continues. So yeah, it's Fanfest. It's Fanfest Day, no less. And hopefully everybody's really enjoying what they see. Iceland Airport is a funny thing, isn't it? Reykjavik Airport. I think it's Reykjavik Airport. Because firstly, it's not in Reykjavik. It's actually quite far outside. And it's secondly, you land on, obviously, an ice shelf on the load of black volcanic sand, which is not terrifying at all. And you think to yourself, God, I didn't realise I was going to Mars in really bad weather. But no, apparently that's Iceland, and it's a beautiful place. It really is, and I think there's very few places on Earth like it, which again spawns an obvious joke, which I'm not going to make. But there are very few places on Earth like Iceland, and I think it's because it's just a unique place. It's it's literally on the border of 2 continental shelves. Apparently, that's why it's being ripped apart. And that's why they have lots of lava and things like that, obviously free-flowing around the place. And I think, it is a very unusual landscape as well. Every time I've played Dust and you look up and you look into the distance and you see those kind of weird hills in the distance, you realise, hang on, those things are in bloody Iceland, and that's true. There's not many trees there. Iceland, I did laugh when we went for a drive. we drove for about 3 hours and it looked like we hadn't gone anywhere because the scenery stayed the same. It was like we're on a conveyor belt. It was like one of those old Scooby-Doo things where they just start running and it's the same scenery, left, right. It did feel a bit like that, but it was beautiful. It really was. And I think it's one of the few places where I actually experienced total silence, and I don't mean even my own voice yammering on. Because we drove out, me and my mate, Brummy. His name's Brummy. That's not being racist to Birmingham people. He is called Brummy. And my brother, we went for a spin. We hired a car and we went for a spin. And we drove for about an hour. And we stopped at some lake, and it was all frozen over. And we got out because Brummy needed a piss. And so he wandered off into the distance, and a huge fountain of steam appeared where he was pissing. So I can only imagine he was obviously very hot. Yeah. Anyway, don't know why I told you that, but it's one of those kind of details that you probably shouldn't embellish. Anyway, we sat there, and all we could hear was the car tinking. So it obviously is cooling down, ting, 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 as it does that. And then all of a sudden, when that finished, all you could hear was the wind and ice from this river cracking, and it would be, and it was beautiful. And it was a real kind of epiphany. It was a moment of pure clarity. And I maybe said this before, but every so often in life you'll have moments of pure clarity where everything just makes perfect sense. And at that moment, everything was just beautiful. It really was. And it was a beautiful country, beautiful landscape. And only here would you get complete and total silence. And it was beautiful. There we go. So, it is a fantastic country. So if you're there now, take the opportunity to go see it. I'm sure there's a few good things at the Blue Lagoon. That's obviously quite interesting as well. But I think just go and enjoy some of the bars of Reykjavik. And I think, just remember that Icelanders like to drink. You need to be making sure that you're aware of that. Because obviously, I just stuck my chest out then. When I was there, as a British man, we drank them under the table. Know what I'm saying, Brolo? We did actually, yeah. We met a load of Icelandic people out there, and we started drinking with them. And yeah, my God, they could drink, but they weren't in the empire levels of drinking, which is I'm just going to drink until somebody else dies. It just felt like that. And I do remember the event being quite exceptional. I remember being filmed playing a torture game, and I bet that's got you interested, hasn't it? And seriously, I was filmed playing a torture game, and I was stood at the bar with the torture, and it was an electronic torture game, and basically two of you have to hold on to this, pad, and it gives you a fucking electric shock through your balls. Not really, but it gives you an electric shock through your hand, right? But it feels like your balls. It seems to kind of tingle through your body and then culminate at the ball sack. And I did this for about 3 times, and I failed each time. As soon as it hit the first time, I failed, and everyone started calling me a girl. So I was like, well, F you, bro. So I then did it against my best mate, Gil, and we did it. And he's just such a cool Danish guy. He just literally no emotion appeared on his face at all. And we just went until the very end level, and it just electrocuted both of us to the point where we're gibbering, and we're like, oh my fucking God, this hurts. But neither of us would give up. And that was kind of seen as actually quite an enjoyable, civilized thing to do in Icelandic bars. And everybody was laughing at me because obviously I'm a Britishman, and I'm there going, oh my God, it hurts, as I get off and I start crying. I didn't really, but it really was a phenomenal event. So again, if you're there, firstly, if you're there and you're watching my videos, then seriously don't go and get drunk. Go and meet a nice young lady, or a nice young man if you're a lady, or if you're a nice young man if you're, that way inclined, or a nice young woman if you're that way inclined. And I think go and enjoy yourself. And I think, to be honest with you, these are the times that you will remember when you die, not the cost of it, not the expense of it, or what you did with the money if you didn't do it. And I would heartily recommend that you go and enjoy everything that Iceland has to offer. It is a beautiful country, beautiful people, friendly people, and you're there with CCP. And I think even if you just want to really nerd it up and enjoy the fact that it's all to do with Eve and Dust and Valkyrie, then go for it. Really immerse yourself within it, and I think you'll have just such a good time. You really will enjoy it. And I think, I heartily recommend you go and meet everybody you can. So if you see Saberwing, for example, go and talk to him. He's such a nice guy, seriously nice guy. If you go and see Rouge, go and say hello. If you see, Hilmar, go and say hello. These guys, they're guys. They put on their underpants one leg at a time like us all. And I think at the end of the day, they would be interested and excited to talk to you as well. And I think don't be afraid. There is a caveat here. And I'm going to throw a caveat in here that I think you really need to listen to. Don't nerd them out, okay? So if you see Saberwing there, don't go up to him and talk about the mechanics of Amar logistics suits not having 3 hit points over 7 hit points, or, a tank, Madruga tank, having too much rep. Don't. Just resist that. Don't do that, because that will just be like, oh, dude, seriously, let's get drunk and talk about bollocks. Just go up to them and ask them the stupidest question you've ever heard in your life, or go up to them and tell them something completely ridiculous about yourself, like, hey guys, I love to LARP, and see what they say, and have some fun with them. Because at the end of the day, yes, you're there to talk about even dust. Yes, it's there to talk about the beauty of the game. I wouldn't use it as an opportunity to talk about balancing and the mechanics and nerf this, buff that. Don't do that, because I think, quite frankly, if they don't punch you in the throat, then they should. I'm joking. Of course I'm joking. Of course I'm not going to do that. But I just think, don't do that. Why waste an opportunity to sit and ask Saberwing about what he's doing at the moment and what his thoughts are, and is he enjoying, Shanghai? And then talking to Rouge and getting his, thoughts on the game. Talk to some of the Eve dude, find out what their thoughts on Dust are. Tell them what you love and would love to see. It is a great opportunity that if you miss, you will regret. Don't go there and talk about a third turret slot on a fucking tank. Please don't. That's an order. That's an absolute order. You're not allowed to talk mechanics. Well, you can, but don't bore them with it. Seriously, these guys get it all the time. Go up to them and talk to them about something else. The best thing you could probably talk to them about is something you've seen in another game that maybe you like and maybe would like to propose to them. But if anything, come back to the fact that it's a bit of a fan fest, it's a bit of a drinking session, it's a bit of fun, and go and have a good, nice, martini with them and enjoy the day. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.